Hello, Sagittarius. Thank you for tuning into your love read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Daily Tarot by Renata Lechner. If I can keep them... There we go. I think the glare is on there. And the supportive oracle cards, the magical spell cards by Lucy Cavendish. We're going to do relationship first, single second. Oracle cards come out as needed. Sagittarius. Relationship. The High Priestess at the top, or at the bottom, I should say. This is someone who sees a situation for the truth of it. Not all good, not all bad, but this is how it comes together. This is how we use what's good and what's bad to make things work out. So, it's a very honest look at things. Safe travel. Which can mean things are going to go forward in the next section. It may seem like, I feel like you're going into an area where you might have a little question about, is this going to work out? You're going to be fine. Everybody's going to be fine. Things are going to work out. The success of the situation will continue. But I feel like safe travel is saying, like, nervous about the transition, but it's going to be okay. There is some type of transition here. And I don't know why we have to put this right in the beginning, but you have the Two of Cups for your partner. Your partner has the Six of Wands with the romance. I feel like there's a very good emotional connection here. So emotionally, I feel very good. Like looking out for each other, caring about each other, having honest feelings for each other. That seems like it's all on the level. But what I'm seeing the problem for your partner is there's things they got to change. There's things they got to work out. Their love for you could be causing problems with getting the situation to work out best case scenario. Like for things to work out truly well, to truly go good, I feel like they're holding on to how you feel and how things affect you to the point where it could damage the situation a little bit. It's almost like instead of going forward and, you know, getting everything done on time, they're just like, well, let me just hold off because I don't think my partner's ready, or let me hold off and hang out with my partner a little bit. Normally I feel like this is not a bad thing, but I feel like to get the situation to really serve you both, I feel like they're really concerned about how things affect you. They want you to be happy. They want you to love what's going on forward. But I feel like this is like an art thing. Like, you know, I've heard it said anyway, for art to really become beautiful, it has to go through an ugly phase. And I feel like that's what has to happen right now. I feel like your partner is over-centered about how things affect you and could end up not doing the best that they could in this situation because they're more concerned about you rather than doing a good job at what they should be doing. So a lot of energy there. Now, I feel on your side, like, understanding that, like, if you see it, acknowledging that love, but encouraging them to do what they need to do, that could be a challenge because I feel like the love and like you don't want to shove away the love, of course. You don't want to say, "Oh, don't love me. Don't do that." Like you don't want to do that. But I do see the Four of Swords on your side where like putting it down in the sense of like putting down your defenses, like saying, "You know what? You got to do what you got to do. I'm going to be okay. We're going to be together with this. Just concentrate on what you're doing. Do that the best you can. And I'll go along with it. I'll do what I need to do." I feel like if you do that, hopefully, pretty much stepping down, putting down your arms, like saying, "You know what? Just do what you got to do. I understand that you're not going to do anything to really hurt me anyway. Maybe you have to make choices that are not the choices I would enjoy, but do what you have to do to make the situation truly work out." Because I'm getting that the Nine of Swords with the Four of Swords. The Nine of Swords is your challenge card. Like you're like, oh my God, this could go a direction that I don't want it to go in. But I feel you, by relinquishing the control and pushing your partner forward, like just do what you have to do. Just do what you need to do. Don't worry about me. I know you're not going to do anything that's going to truly hurt me. Just do what's best for the situation. I'm still here. If you're able to do that, you're going to have some worry about, like, how is this really going to turn out? Like, am I really going to be unhappy with the outcome? But I do see success coming from the situation if you're able to do that. Just telling them, just don't worry about me right now. I know you're not going to do anything that's really going to hurt me. Just do what you got to do. Just do what's best for the situation. Just do what you got to do. That serves you. That greatly serves you is what I'm getting. Because I feel like that's how you're moving out away from troubled waters. Spiritually, you got the Six of Swords. It's almost like you're relinquishing responsibility a little bit. And it's freeing your partner. Your partner will then have the Queen of Swords. Like, don't get caught up in the gender, but they're going to take that raw look forward, the analytical look forward. This is what's best for the situation. My partner's given me the green light to do what needs to be done. And I feel like they'll do the right thing, what's best for the situation. They will do that. You relinquishing, that, I don't want to say control. What do I want to say? It's not a demand, but freeing them from worry about you being really upset. You freeing them from that, things smooth out and go a lot easier, especially down the road a bit. I feel like there'll be a point where you're able to look back and you're comfortable and happy that things worked out the way they did. It could be a ways down. I feel like it could be a bit rocky at times, a bit rocky getting there. But once you're there, it's kind of like, you know what? It's kind of like when you were training for a race and you got to go through all the work and get yourself together and make sure you get enough sleep and eat the right things. Getting there can be a chore and a lot to hold on to. But when you actually make your goal and do what you want to do, you're just so happy and it worked out and you got the results you wanted. The energy is really faster. It's going one to the next, to the next, to the next. I hope I'm not... I know there's an option on YouTube to slow down the video, so if I'm talking too fast, you might want to look. It's down in the corner somewhere. I think it's down. So it looks like a little gear. You might want to try it if I'm talking too fast. Because I feel like the energy is racing. I feel like I'm racing again. Alright, so what makes things better for you is the Fool card. Just being optimistic and just letting it go. You don't know where it's going. I do feel either way you're going to end up in a spot with the Moon card. You're going to end up in a spot where you're like, I don't know where this is going. So you're going to end up there anyway. I just feel like the outcome suits you better by relinquishing that control. As much as you're able to anyway. Your partner, you relinquishing that control or that concern for them is making a very positive impact. The thing is, they will still think about you. They will still consider you. They're not going to completely just walk away from thinking about how things affect you. But it gives them more wiggle room. It gives them more leeway to handle things. It gives them more confidence about, trying some things or seeing all right, my partner I don't think would like this to start with, but they might get used to it over time. It gives them more lateral movement that way. And I feel like that could really serve things because they're very hopeful with this. They feel like you have a lot of confidence in them. They have a lot of optimism. But they still want this to work out, at least in the long run, where you're very happy. They want to prove that you relinquishing this control to them is going to serve you as well. So it's still going to weigh on them. They're not just going to go, oh, all right, then I won't care. Bye. It's not going to happen. They're still going to think about you, but it just gives them more lateral movement is what I'm getting. Things they're willing to try or possibilities. All right, my partner might not be happy with this to start off with, but I feel down the road they'll warm up to it. So maybe I will try this. And they said I could, try these things. They said not to worry about it. So I feel like I might just try that out. And then down the road, maybe it'll serve both of us. It gives them lateral movement. I've said it 50 times. I think I'm going to walk away from that. What helps them is the Two of Wands. Being able to have more consideration, more thoughts, more possibilities. Again, if you end up getting into something and your partner chooses a direction that you don't like, keep in mind that they're thinking down the road you may like it. So even if it looks like right off the bat you're like, oh, I don't like this choice, keep in mind your partner is thinking down the road you may like it. You may. Because it's opening possibilities from them. It's opening possibilities for both of you, quite frankly. And I feel like things can get a lot better. They have a lot of love for you. They do. Even though you're gonna, I feel like if you're able to do that and tell them, you know what, don't worry about me. Just do what you got to do. Do what's best for the situation. I trust you to do what you need to do. I know you're not gonna hurt me, but you know if you have to do something that I'm not gonna like, then you just got to do it. Just do what you got to do. They're still gonna think about you, and they may do something you don't like, but they're thinking down the road you will. They're still thinking about you. It still weighs on them, even though you're relinquishing. Like, don't feel so bad about it. Just do what you got to do. It's still going to have an effect. They're just feeling that lateral movement is more open to them. I do feel it serves you. Okay, I think we're good for that one. So let's do Sagittarius singles and see what we got for single Sagittarians. Single Sagittarians. What do we got for single Sagittarians? Messages for single Sagittarians. What do we have for single Sagittarians? What do we have for single Sagittarians? What do we have for single Sagittarians? Messages for single Sagittarians. Empowering messages that show them the truth. Messages for single Sagittarians. I got these backwards. There we go. Messages. Empowering information. We'll see. Not sure which way this is going. That's it? No, they're like, leave those alone. If we need to, we'll come back to them. Alright, so this is the biggest piece of this reading. It's in the environment. It's the Four of Swords. I feel in this situation it's a timeout card. Somebody around you who I feel in the past was more active or may have, I feel like you may have dated this person and it hadn't gone that far, but you had interest and it seemed like there was mutual interest, but this is in the past and it just kind of like didn't go anywhere. Just kind of fizzled out. Just fizzled out with, I don't know why I'm making that sound, but there you go. The Four of Swords is telling me this person's kind of like in a timeout. They just, for whatever reason, it could be something going on in their life or even not. They just, I don't want to move forward. I don't want to do anything about this. When I'm feeling this person, though, I also see like this is also seeming to put you in this Two of Swords. You're still interested, but there's no movement there. It's just time out. They're not doing anything. And I get the Two of Swords with you, like that seems to be putting you in this stasis point. Like you're not doing anything either for some reason. I do feel your heart goes to this person naturally. I also feel like this is somebody who might be in the back of your head that you would enjoy something going forward with this person. And you're optimistic, almost like you're optimistic at some point down the line that they will. But the Fool card is saying you don't know, but you're hopeful. They're in the timeout. You're not moving either. I also see, though, it's interesting. You have the Three of Pentacles in your thoughts. You would be willing to work with this person. Like, nothing has to happen in 2 days. Nothing has to happen in 2 seconds. Maybe hanging out once in a great while, just going and grabbing a bite to eat. You know, cultivating a relationship over time. I don't even feel, it's not like you're like hard and fast, like this is how it has to be. You're open to negotiation is what I'm getting with that. Three of Pentacles, you're willing to work on it. But if they're in the timeout, like, it's kind of like calling somebody. If they don't pick up the phone, you can leave all the messages you want, but if they're not using their phone, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So, you got the Emperor with the Page of Pentacles. Sometimes the Page of Pentacles makes me a little nervous. Sometimes that's pining for someone. Sometimes. And then you got the Emperor down here. I feel like you're really patient with this person. And with the Emperor, I don't feel like you're blocking other possibilities. But you're not really moving on other possibilities either. It's almost like this is somebody you're comparing other people to. You're like, well, if I find someone as good or better than the one I'm kind of wanting to be with, then I'll go with that. But until that happens, I'm kind of cool the way I am. So this is the center part. I don't see things moving forward. And I feel like this is dragging on a little bit longer. You got the... I feel this Knight of Pentacles is kind of like the evolution of the Page of Pentacles, but it's like still dragging that feeling forward, still like, well, if somebody better approaches me, or if I find something better, I'm okay, but if I don't, I'm cool, I'm good. That may seem a little crazy, but that's kind of how I'm feeling. Like, unless something as good or better comes your way, I don't feel like you're willing to move on it. So maybe if I'm saying that it's cool, it's good, maybe that's a little bit liberal of me. Maybe that's really liberal of me. Because I'm like, I shouldn't say that you're all happy. Like, oh, I'm single, great, wonderful. That's why I watch these readings, to just make sure it doesn't change. I don't think that's the point. But unless somebody as good or better comes along, I don't feel you moving on it. And I don't see anybody coming towards you that's as good or better in your opinion. Or affecting you in that stature. Now, the Seven of Wands at the bottom is like, I feel like you're holding the line. Like, there's a certain quality of person you want. And I feel like this person's the benchmark. Like, you're saying, if they're not that good or better, I don't want them. And you're holding the line with that. It's very much feeling this way. I don't know if I like this ending. But this is where I see this ending coming. I don't really know if I like it. Because I feel this person starting to, like, answer your phone calls, for lack of a better analogy. This person is not coming out of timeout, though. But they're starting to, like... they're not coming out of this stasis, but they're, like, starting to come to the edge of it. They're, like... It's almost like a teaser. You know, like those previews before the movies plays, those little teasers, things like that. Because I see you getting hope here. I see you getting hope, and I see the trust come in with the Mermaid Magic Seduction. I don't feel comfortable with it, personally. Because I feel like this person is starting to warm up. They're coming like to the edge of it. Like they're just kind of starting to answer their phones. Maybe just answering a few text messages. You're seeing a little bit more, but not a lot. Then you got the trust and the Mermaid Magic Seduction here. You're very hopeful because this person seems to be showing some attention. And you're hoping it'll work out. You're having those feelings of love. You're like, oh, they're almost there. I can feel it. They're almost there. I just got to hold on a little bit longer. It's not guaranteed. Because this is kind of like, it reminds me of a fish coming to the surface. They may be up here playing around at the surface right now, but it doesn't mean they're going up that brook. They could go right back down to where they were. And that's the trick with this person. It may look like they're coming out of stasis, and they're considering the thought. And I do feel like they're going to consider the thought, but they could regress just as easily as move forward. Just as easily. So I'm kind of nervous about that. That's where this is going. Just don't bank on this person is what I'm getting. I wouldn't bank on them. You might seriously want to consider trying someone else, or maybe you need to search out someone else. It's a possibility. I don't know. I don't feel overly confident with this one. I feel like you might end up in a spot where you just keep waiting for someone. If this reading is really hitting with you, I wouldn't bat away possibilities. Maybe you want to try some other things coming towards you. Whoever this person is, I'm not confident that they're really going to come out of that stasis place at this point. All right, I think that's the end of this one. All right, thank you for watching. I hope that helps. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.